story about how she became a Christian, and so you can see the impact this has had on her life. And Kirstie was the first woman to become a Christian here in Edinburgh.
Kirstie!
And I met her about 20 years ago when I moved up from London to co-lead the church. And although at the time Kirstie was quite a self-conscious teenager, which I think she was, she was a really down-to-earth person, and a person who really loved God and wanted to follow him wholeheartedly with gratitude and trust. And over the years, that has never changed. We shared a flat with two other girls for a while and became really good friends. And we could always rely on her honesty, encouragement, and above all, brilliant sense of humour. Kirstie then moved to London, took a step of faith to work for the church, before later moving to Birmingham to do the same. And this is where she met her husband to be, Adam. Kirstie and Adam have now been married for 11 years, and they live in Glasgow with 4 children. Yes, 4 children. Kirstie, with much love and respect, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you. Please welcome Kirstie.
It's great to be able to celebrate with you here today. I don't know, like Ollie said, I struggle to contain my emotions as I see, just the young girls singing and stuff as well. So the theme of this weekend is past, present and future. I'm from Loanhead originally, south side of Edinburgh. So I currently live in Glasgow with our family. 20 years ago, God answered my prayer, and a prayer for help and guidance, and He put 2 of the original mission team in my path, Andy Gould and Neil Mackenzie. I was brought up in a loving family, like most, slightly dysfunctional. We were not people with an active faith. At the age of 17, I was really thinking about life. It's a time you're thinking about your future. And at the same time, my gran got cancer. She passed away with cancer. And I had grown up with her most of my childhood, so I was totally devastated. And I turned to God for direction. I was invited to church after my prayer, 20 minutes after praying to God for help. I ran to church the following week, slightly hungover, and I had a fantastic time. I started to study the Bible with Melanie Martin and Anne Mello, otherwise known as Annie Donald. And it was amazing. It was like a jigsaw puzzle, that everything fell into place for me. And I learned that Jesus died for me. And because of that, I could wipe the slate clean. 17 years of age, I felt a sufficient amount of guilt and shame and disillusionment. And I wanted to be set free from it. As I read the Bible, I could not argue with God's plan for us to be pure before marriage. I'd seen enough mess, experienced enough shame to argue with God's plan for our life. The thought of one day having to face God and give an account of my life terrified me. And it caused me to change so radically that my family were slightly concerned for me. So, their cider guzzling, foul-mouthed daughter was no more. And that was a shocker. And it took me and them time to adjust to this new person in their life. For me, I felt so grateful God heard my prayer. He was with me. And He had a plan for my life. I was so inspired. Part of that plan was for me to take the gospel to other people. I felt so inspired. What a privilege. To have an impact with my life in that way. I have so many happy memories of the early church, like it was yesterday. Our time at 227 the High Street, games of charades, parties, Andy Broughton with, his fantastic man that he is, and Helen and Andy just did a phenomenal job leading the church at that time. We were working together to advance the gospel in Edinburgh. The time when the Fordhams came was also just a great time of training for me as a Christian. I felt that it really equipped me and helped me to be a better fisher of men. And as a result, I was really blessed with the chance to go into the full-time ministry down in London. And for me, I felt it was a real blessing to go into the ministry. It was a real life-changing experience. I did a lot growing up in ministry, and had the chance to meet Adam, and then we went to work together in Birmingham. So it was fantastic. So yesterday it was our 11th anniversary. Hey! Which is, only because of God. We really enjoy working together as a team, raising our 4 beautiful children. And, we love being with the church in Glasgow. The Bible's got a lot of guidance for marriage and parenting. Like everybody else, we came into marriage with our own baggage. I mean, you can't help but, like who's it said, dysfunction is the gift that keeps on giving. We feel really blessed for our relationships in the church. We've definitely benefited from the wise counsel of the Brady's when we've been unable to reconcile a disagreement. So that's been a real blessing. God definitely challenges me on a daily basis on my selfishness, my ingratitude, my greed, things that would hurt my children and my husband otherwise. I feel really blessed that I'm able to pray for wisdom, pray for guidance. It helps me when I'm tempted to feel regret in my life, that I have prayed and I've gotten God's guidance on His plan for me. So, we really enjoy. We've been in Glasgow 11 years now, and we feel encouraged to see what God's doing. So, what about the future? As a young Christian, myself and another 2 fellow young Christians were having a discussion about who was going to lead the mission team to Glasgow. When we were 20 years old. And at that time I started to sing in a Gaelic choir in Drummond High School, because I figured that one day when I was going to Glasgow, it would help me to take the gospel to the Highlands and the Islands. So now I'm in Glasgow with my English husband, and we're mixed marriage. So our children are going through Gaelic medium education. I'm still learning Gaelic. I'm promoting Gaelic medium education. And I've had my sights on the Inverness mission team. Who knows what God has in store? But one thing I'm really grateful for is that I still have the vision that I had as a young person that has still not left me. Thanks very much.